It's great speaking with you today, Ike. This is going to be an interesting topic on outsourcing back office operations in the Philippines. Before we start, can you provide a brief background of yourself?
I absolutely can. Thank you very much. My name is Ike Stranathan, and I own a business process outsourcing company in the Philippines by the name of Staff Virtual. And what Staff Virtual does is we build teams in the Philippines from the ground up, custom teams doing three major things. Back office, which would mean mostly non-voice tasks, customer service, and IT tasks, IT solutions. So we offer three things here in the Philippines.
Thanks. My first question is, can you talk a little bit about how do you outsource back office operations?
Sure. I absolutely can. One second. I'm actually, okay. So, yeah, we're happy to tell you how it works. Sorry, just somebody walked into my office, so I had to take that. But outsourcing to the Philippines is really easy with my company, Staff Virtual. First thing we do, whether you're a freight forwarder or you are an e-commerce company or whatever type of company you have, we'll begin by talking with you and learning about the critical business outcomes that you need and that the requirements you have for your team. And then we'll think about the processes and performance metrics that are critical to their attainment. Once we know the types of professionals you need and the processes you need to we will put together a team for you. We'll build this team from the ground up based upon your exact specification. Once hired, your team will work from our state-of-the-art office here in Makati, which I don't know if you've heard of Makati, but Makati is the New York City of the Philippines. It's located in Metro Manila. And your people will work in our office here in Makati under our direct supervision. And we'll manage those people on your behalf, helping you get the critical outcomes your business needs.
Can you talk about some of the problems that people face when they outsource their back office operations?
I think the biggest problem and a huge trap that people fall into is not clearly defining what success looks like. What is success? What are the performance metrics that you're trying to hit? What does a good week look like? What's a good month look like for that person that you put into the office? So, for example, if we're dealing with somebody that's responding to chat messages online and they're creating, customers have issues, they're going to the website, they're contacting the company through chat, and if we're manning that chat line, we have metrics, performance metrics that person manning that chat line has to hit. We call them, of course, KPIs. So a KPI for a chat support person might be number of cases handled per night. So we tell that person they have to do 200 cases per night or 200 calls. If we are putting a team together for a freight forwarding company, it might be, number of customs clearances they must fill out in one shift, in an 8-hour shift. And so you first need to define success, define the KPIs, and then constantly measure those, and then constantly work to improve upon those performance metrics.
Can you talk about any success, where you've seen some success in outsourcing back office operations?
Sure. So one of my clients is a massive nationwide Social Security disability law firm that operates in all 50 states across the United States. And like many lawyers and many business owners, frankly, he had hit a glass ceiling. He'd taken the business as far as he could go. He had about 8 employees in the United States. Payroll was killing him. Office space was going up in costs. All of his costs were going up, but as an attorney, his Social Security fee for taking a case was capped at $6,000. So he had to do something fast. He had to do something to future-proof his business because his margins are being eroded. And so he came to me. We actually met in the Philippines, and we started with just 2 people to help him with his Social Security disability cases. And we started with 2 people to do data entry for him. And now we have a team of over 20 people. I think we're at 23 people in the Philippines doing all sorts of things for him, from the entire case management and case flow process in his legal world to helping him with accounting and accounts receivables, accounts payable, and we're also doing lead generation and social media marketing. This massive account just started with 2 people doing data entry. And so that's an example of a law firm that was able to quadruple their number of cases they're handling per month from 200 to 850 by partnering with us. And we did this by building a back office in the Philippines. And so basically he's got 23 people in the Philippines for much less than his employees, his entire staff cost in the United States. I think he saved them around 70% on payroll costs, and he's quadrupled his output. This guy's making more money he can count. He loves us, and he's going to be a client for life.
And how do people know, what are your recommendations if someone wants to decide if they should outsource their back office operations?
You have to look at your business model. You have to look at your pain points. You have to look at the time-consuming, repetitive things that are happening in your model, that are happening nonstop, like your phone's ringing nonstop. You have custom orders that you have to fill out nonstop. You have hundreds of people wanting to chat with you on your website nonstop. You have to have a business model with repetitive tasks. That's really the key word. You know, my model, for example, wouldn't work with a lawyer that was doing, let's say, franchise tax law, and every uniform franchise tax agreement he writes is bespoke, and it really takes his legal domain, his legal reasoning skills to do that. We work with law firms that have highly transactional processes, like DUI attorneys, where they're doing hundreds of DUIs a month, or Social Security disability attorneys. We really want to work with companies, and you really have to have a model with highly repetitive work.
And thanks for sharing today on this topic.
You're welcome.
And if we could always follow up on future topics in the future that would be interest to the supply chain community.
I would love to. I recently came back from AfriCargo. It's a great freight forwarding conference that was in Cape Town, South Africa, put on by my friend Christian Royber and his company, RW Solutions. And Christian's company puts on these amazing freight forwarding shows all over the world. They have one in Moscow. They have one in Sao Paulo. They have one in Manila, Thailand. They do about 8 of these a year. And we are working with his company now to offer our solutions to his network of freight forwarders. And there's definitely a lot of time-consuming, repetitive, arduous, quite frankly, busy work that's not that fun to do in your world. And a lot of companies suffer from a high attrition rate. And, you know, as soon as I talk to American CEOs all the time, they spend months getting somebody trained up. It's a huge investment in time, resources, hiring that person, putting ads out online. You get them trained up 2 or 3 months, they leave. And you've got this massive investment that you've lost because he just walked out the door. Maybe he learns your process and starts his own company. That won't happen with us. And our company, we build teams. We're not looking for one-off projects. We're looking for partnerships, and we're looking for people that want to put 5, 10, 20 people in a room or more for years, not months. We have some clients that have been with us almost 8 years and have almost 100 people with us. And those are the types of relationships that work, long-term relationships, whether it's a personal or business relationship, frankly. The only thing that really adds value are long-term relationships. And so for all your listeners out there, if you go to an outsourcing company like mine, don't call us an outsourcing company. That's not what we are. We actually hate that word. We're a partner. We're your true partner in an overseas joint venture, and we're looking to build teams with companies for years, not months.
And thanks for sharing, Ike.
You got it. And thank you for giving me a ring. This has been a lot of fun.